Hey, what's up? It's Kit. Time for another video. Today, we are going to be tying a couple of assist hooks for these right here. I know I know a lot of people would think that, oh, it's a redo of the old video. But see, the thing is, these are the lighter ones, and we're going to be rigging the 70. And what this is, the rigging for this is different. The big ones, we don't have the flash, and I normally put flash on these. Another thing to consider when it comes to these is that it's smaller, and that poses a very difficult challenge. So the rigging on this is actually slightly different from what I normally do, and well, what I normally do with the big ones, and that is kind of quite important. Now, here's a very good example of a ready-made hook that would probably fit this. The problem is it's too long, and what's going to happen is that if you put this there, you'll end up only with one set, and you can't put anything on the back, which is going to be a big problem. There are, of course, smaller ones, and this is a problem that's posed with these type of jigs. Okay, so, and you'll know what I'm talking about here. See that, and then would fit it, and then if you put another one of the same size at the back, that'd be like a good fit. Okay, but then again, not everyone has access to this, or it could be that they're too expensive, so you kind of tend to look for something else. The best answer is for us to actually just create something on our own. And yeah, like as I showed you, I have all the assist hooks. I have a ton of these, and what we're gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to really custom make one that fits this solidly, and we're gonna do something that would fit this a bit better than just normal production hooks. Okay, so we are going to be using a red and white, and what we're going to do is actually do the back as red and white. Now this is easy to tie. All you do is just go like that. Obviously, go around the hook once, and then form a loop from there. Also tighten that. Then you could adjust the length like so, and that's basically it. So what I do then is just reverse it. Okay, that way I can see it because it's upside down. Later on, when we tie this, we're gonna tie it backwards. Okay, so once you have that knot, all you need is one. You could do two, that's fine. After that, you just bind. And what I like with this is to just reach the tip right there and then cut everything. Okay. So here's a trick that I learned in fly fishing. Okay. You take your bobbin. I'm gonna show it right here. And then before you cut, you pull down, you pull this, push it away from you, and then cut. And you won't have accidents. Okay, so little tricks like that help out a lot. Okay, and then do your cleanup. Tighten. Always remember. Okay, so as you can see here, there's still some fuzz there that I want to get rid of before I actually think about my flash. Okay, now we're ready for our flash. Again, same thing. Remember the trick I showed you in that other video. Stick 4 this time because it's kind of small. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. There we go. And then even up the tips. Okay. Double up. Double up again. Remember, this is from 4 strands, so you'd be kind of surprised how much you actually end up with right here. Okay, so like that. You could choose to make it a single or make it a double. For me, I'll double it up. So you can see there, that's it. All you need, and you don't want it to be too long. A lot of people tend to make their flash very long, and don't do that, because believe it or not, guys, that actually helps you miss fish. You'll get a lot of short strikes. You want your flash to be attracting the fish towards where the hook is, not long, and then have them bite at the back and miss your hook. It doesn't really suit the agenda. So, okay. That's it. And then we super glue it. Now when you're super gluing, you also have to be kind of careful here, because what you don't want is for your super glue to go towards your flash. That's a bad idea. But here's a trick. If you want your super glue or your flash to actually behave, you just put a little bit on the base, and that will help them stay. So it's not scattered. Okay. Now at this point, what we need to do is let it dry as per the last one, so it doesn't whiten up. It looks pretty. And then you could start with your other one, which is the front hook. Well, actually, you know what? Let me look for a white one. See if there's. Okay, so I found this. Already has a solid ring. Perfect. And then since we're already at that step, and this is the front, we could just measure. Okay, we want it to be here. Okay. There we go. See the length. All right, that looks good. Okay. Now, this is ready-made, but it already has the fluoro core. So that was helpful. I knew I had one. So when I glanced over, I saw it. Perfect. All right. Now, again, 4. Remember, just 4. You put too much, sometimes the fish actually get freaked out. 2. There we go. Sometimes all you have to do is actually just line up the tips. There's only 4 of them, so that's not really much of an issue. Easier that way. And it also helps if you have like a sharp pair of scissors. Okay. Okay, here's a good trick, okay? Instead of putting it there, folding it, you take your thread, you fold it to your thread like so, and then you position it like so, and it's easier. That's a fly tying trick. Now it's really up to you to make this as clean or as janky as you want. Up to you. For this, for me, I'm just gonna make it decent. There we go. I mean, most of the flash, the bindings are good, but it's better if you have it as clean as possible, obviously. That's really what you want. Okay. While we're here, it's always good practice to cinch everything down. So, pull on that. Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go offline, finish all of this, and then we'll go back for the assembly, okay? Okay, so we have these, and now I'm going to show you this because this is something that's very interesting. So I've decided to actually do an offset, okay? And I love doing offsets because you just cover a lot of surface area. There not many companies actually do this, or even people that do assist hooks. And I believe this is something that has a lot of potential, and people are just not, paying attention. Anyway, love them or hate them, they're there to stay, and they're actually something that for me makes sense. They are not as easy to tie though. But see, I wanna or tie consistently just because of the spacing. All right, so here, something that you should actually look at. If you see where my flash ends with this, and I'm gonna zoom in just so you see it clearly, okay? So, let me get my pointer. See how this piece of flash is actually long, and then it terminates to where my hook is, not longer. Okay, if I put it longer like this, it would actually it'll help the fish and block the hook. So when you're doing something like this, it's either you cut this shorter or you just stop just a little bit at the back of the hook. Basically, since the flash is there, when the fish grabs this, that's kind of like the zone that it's gonna bite in. So put it together with this, you'll see that you actually have ample coverage on the jig itself. The reason why I haven't tied this yet is so that I can space it. That right now, as you can see there, it's actually not bad, but we're gonna space it correctly so that it's not gonna tangle. Okay, so that's exactly what we're gonna do now. So we're gonna take a solid ring and some split rings, and let's go ahead and rig this sucker. I normally don't rig my jigs here at home. I prefer to actually do all of this while I'm in the water. Okay, look for a solid ring here. I need my microscope. Go. Okay, so how to space this? There's actually several ways. Okay, I'll use this. Okay, I am just going to use this just so it's easy and so there's several ways you could do this, and one of the easiest for me has always been, now I'm not going to offset this, okay, just so keep things simple. Okay, so go like that, and then doing this actually already takes quite a lot off. Okay, make sure that the wraps are all the way to the back. Then you can tighten. You can see that a lot has already been taken off right here, right there, and they won't really hit each other. Okay. So once you do that, if you want it to be a bit more stiff, there's a trick to it as well. So tighten that. That's that. Now, say just so we have a different contrasting color, you could take this and wrap a few turns. Just to make it a bit stiffer. Okay. Cut that. And then we super glue that as well. Once you super glue that, that'll be a bit stiffer. At least it won't flail around. So that's one of the things that you could do to help these things not get tangled. So you still have the, there's just a section that's going to be stiff, and you still have the flexibility there, which is great for these smaller ones, especially because if you have a fish like grouper that would inhale it, especially if it inhales from the back when you're dropping the jig, or even if it short strikes, that is it. It will definitely get hooked immediately. Okay, so once that dries up, it stiffens up a bit, but you still have that flexibility. So let's dry this up a bit. All right, so that's dry right there, and you can see that it's stiff enough, so makes it work real well. I'm gonna rig this so that you guys can see. Okay, this feels weird. This thing just works really nicely. At least for this size, the smaller, that's strong. Okay, do the back. If you guys don't know the size, this is a 1/0. This is for the 70 gram Z slow. So 90 grams and below, this is my rigging. Okay, I rig it like this with a flash, and then 100 grams and above, I rig it without the flash. So that also follows that if I'm fishing in waters 100 meters and below, I use flash. And then over that, no more flash. Okay, so as you can see there, that is great. And it's not gonna tangle. See, they're not gonna tangle. There. See? But that's it right there. Okay. This thing will catch a lot. Snappers. Usually sizes like this, we use them for snappers, the spangled emperors, the even Dorado, if they're actually, or if we take stuff like this and then we go towards the tankers or the marker buoys, stuff like this, the Dorado would just eat. Although it's not the safest thing to do, actually. Groupers, definitely, and a host of other fish. But, I mean, we've caught good-sized cobia on jigs like this. Anyway, so I hope you've learned something with the rigging of this, especially with the flash and all, and how if you see the flash, and that's just 4 pieces of flash, and it's not too much. It's just 4 folded 4 times. Okay, so that's it. Alrighty, so hope you learned something. If you haven't yet, please like and subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you like it, and share if you care. Alrighty, that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. Class dismissed.